Hi Booktube, it's Stephanie. Today I'm going to talk about how I read my books, how I get through them, because I'm a person who, nowadays at least, read multiple books at once. And I can say that my currently reading list is slightly overwhelming for me, but I will get to that, why that is. But my optimum reading would have to be one audiobook, one non-fiction, and one fiction. Sometimes I can go with two fiction if it's completely different genre without any problems for like me keeping everything weird or in sync, or however I'm supposed to pronounce it, put it. For instance, a fantasy and a contemporary, or a fantasy and sci-fi. I can usually keep those really separate and I will be fine. For the audiobook, I can listen to whatever, because since I'm listening to it, it doesn't affect me when it comes to the audio genre. So I can listen to a fantasy and read a fantasy, and I will have no problems with that. When it comes to how I kind of read all of these, if we go with the audiobooks, I definitely need to improve this, and it is a goal of mine. But the place where I typically nowadays listen to my audiobooks, is when I do my laundry, because when I have a mangle and when I use the mangle, since you need to wait for a couple of minutes so that it can go through a cycle a couple of times, why not just listen to an audiobook? And I do tend to listen to all my audiobooks sped up, because I don't have the patience. Some audiobooks I can listen to like normal pace, but mostly I do need that faster paced. So I need to find other places where I feel like I can listen, and I find it slightly annoying that I haven't tried this again, because last year I tried to listen to an audiobook while I was cleaning up some levels in Lego games. So Lego TV game, PlayStation 4 game, there we go. And since I was cleaning up, I had already gone through the story. It was just getting all the points and collecting everything and getting a platinum. And I could listen to a lot. I could listen to several hours, because since you're cleaning up, you already play the game, and Lego games are not really that. They are really fun to play. I love playing them, and my goal is to get platinum in all the ones I play. But I don't know why I haven't done it lately, as that is cleaning up and then just listen to an audiobook. Because I do want to listen to the story in the games like normally, even if I know all the Jurassic Park movies basically without needing to look anything up. I still want to focus on the story. But as I said, when you're cleaning up in Lego games, you basically play through the level a couple of times and you look for things. You go you don't really need to think, because what you do is like the buttons doesn't do anything new with new characters. It's just that instead of a heat beam, it's a cold beam, things like that. Went probably too much into Lego games, but I don't know why I haven't really tried that, except for the fact that I really haven't been playing games that much this year. So I definitely should get a move on so that I can at the same time listen to my audiobooks. Then we have ebooks. I know I didn't mention that in what my optimum reading is, and that has to do with, I think ebooks could fit for my commute. Now, as I said in my goal video, if you happen to watch it, I don't really read ebooks, and I said that it was because I felt like the screen was too small. And I think I felt like the screen was too small because I tried to do it at home, like this. And I think that was why I felt so weird about it. because I do read a lot of fan fiction, but then I read it on my computer. So yes, and the reason why I'm thinking that it could be something for me on my commute is that once I finished The Martian in January, I was looking through a lot of fan fiction for The Martian, and I found one that was really good. And then the next day I was like, I want to continue reading it, but I need to go to that place called work. So I took it up on my phone and it went fine. And I think because right now I don't read anything on the train. I don't, because I feel too stressed, because there's a lot of at my former work, the commute is almost the exact same length. The one I have now is slightly shorter, but the amount of stops were fewer on that, and I didn't really like, oh, we're stopping. No, it's not my, like, I think that's what it is. And also since the stop before where I get off, like, it's a very short period of time. So if I'm in the middle of something, I need to rush to like put everything away. But on my phone, I could just, close it and put it in my pocket. So I do think that I should be able to easily have an ebook on the train, because having a separate book from the train is another way I can do with my physical books. But as it is right now, at least on my train, I can't really do it because I feel too stressed about it. And I also haven't read too much at work. Probably will be able to right now because I need to be there 2 days a week because of the current crisis. Yeah, it's a thing, Swedish legislation. I get almost my full entire salary, but I need to be at work 2 full days a week. Yeah, it's extremely boring, by the way, because I'm used to having patience, not just sitting and twiddling my thumbs. But yeah, complete tangent that had nothing to do with this. But yeah, so I don't really read at work anymore, but I definitely should be able to be able to read ebooks on my commute. As for physical books, as I said, non-fiction and fiction, my goal would be to have one of each. The non-fiction as a sort of break from the fiction, because for me, reading non-fiction, it's a lot easier to just finish a chapter, put it down, and then not go back to it for a couple of weeks or something. While a fiction books, I feel like I need to be focused on it. I don't need to, I need to finish it in a week, or I need to read something every day from it. But when I do spend time, I feel like I need to be completely focused. In a non-fiction, I feel like I can read half a page and then put it down. So when I want to read but don't feel like I want to invest my heart and soul, I feel it's so much easier to pick up a non-fiction. So that's definitely my goal. One problem I have if I have multiple fiction books is that I don't really know which one to focus on. And obviously that means that I will focus on the book that are most relevant. For instance, right now I have a buddy read, Crooked Kingdom, which you actually can see right there on the chair. I did not know that it was visible, but it is. And right now I'm focusing on that, which means that the other two that I'm reading, which is a sci-fi and a fantasy, well, one of them I haven't picked up at all in a week, and the other one actually more than a week, and the other one for like 3 weeks. Yeah, I need to finish stuff off. I am enjoying the Crooked Kingdom though, but as I said, usually I can only like focus on a book for a specific time, even if I have another one. The disadvantages of this is that I might not get interested, or I might be, I don't want to continue right now, and I DNF it, even though I really want to read it. And sometimes it can be for something stupid. For instance, for Uprising, there we go. I am at a point which is slightly cringy, and I don't want to read through the cringe. I don't know why I stopped in the middle of it, because I know I have a problem with finishing up in the middle of cringes. That was why it took me so long to continue with Three Majors and a Margarita, because it was cringy that particular moment. I just need to get over it and get stuck into it again. But yeah, I definitely need to fix so that I only have like one physical book, fiction book, because I do feel slightly too stressed about it. It's easier when it's a book I own and a library book, because then it's like, well, I need to focus on the library book because it needs to go back, and the other book I can just keep forever. Not really. That glass keeps on. Let's move it again. I'm gonna move it again. That's the 5th time I moved it. Let's hope that it doesn't clink just because I move my feet again. Whatever. So yeah. Oh right. Now I remember where I was going. And my preferable place to read physical books is actually by my computer or at the chair that has Cookie Kingdom on it while I'm listening to something. And that can be, and with something I mean music, because I can't have someone talking at the same time because I feel like they're talking to me. But yeah, music, classical music or something, and usually once the song is finished, I will then read to wherever point I'm at and just go, okay, done, close the book. And then I will do it again 3 minutes later. That's how it is today. When I was younger, I definitely could read a 400-page book in less than a day, so there's that. I miss those times when I could focus on a book. But yeah, such is my reading habits and how I read. It's probably kind of ranty and I really don't care. But yeah, how are your reading tastes? How many books can you read at once? Right now I have way too many, as I really don't like having it. But yeah, how many do you usually read at the same time, or do you just focus on one book? How are you with audiobooks and ebooks? I would love to hear from you. Bye.